Okay, let's see if I can get this. We're going to get started. Welcome to our May sales meeting. I keep thinking it's April. April just went by way too fast. So today we're going to start with our minute to win it, and then we're going to rotate through our normal process, and then we have a guest speaker. Jeff DeGraffenried is going to come up and talk about construction lending and how you can use that to partner with builders. But I do want to start with a welcome to our newest employees, Mitch Sargent, JC Moreno, and Cassandra Gonzalez. Mitch is a loan officer, JC is a loan officer. Cassandra is JC's assistant. And I know I haven't done this in the past, but we're going to we will start doing this, so hopefully as we continue to bring on more people. Let's get started with our minute to win it.
Blake. Here. Okay, so for this one, I'm putting these out, and you have to set them up so that they stay up. Like that.
Oh no, I can already see it. It's gonna be really hard.
Wait, I think we should have separate tables because they could.
Yeah. What if you like?
You know I'm a cheater. You can all share. I drew my name. I should be disqualified. So you can take as many of the eggs as you want.
Do you want to get a video of that?
So I can take
Video. Video.
like whoever gets the most.
Get some video.
I'm gonna come video. I mean, come on.
You got your eyelashes on. You're looking good.
For not speaking.
Your eyelashes are on point.
Thanks. I think I'm gonna use
We're trying to stand up on the end.
Yeah, so whoever can get the most.
Stand up on that end. Oh no, that looks that looks really hard.
Okay, are you ready? Ready. Iron mark. Get set. Go.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna try not to pass here. It almost just came out.
My blocking.
I had it up.
I'm starting running the same problem.
It has to be up when the time runs out. 30 seconds. Too much coffee. Don't say nice words.
Wait, just shake the table. Oh no. Oh, I never fallen down there.
Seriously. Okay, Blake, you were at. I have two. Do we really need to count? I mean,
Red two.
stop, Blake.
Well, I think mine might have been a little like shaken or something like that.
I'll leave these because I'm using them for the next game.
That one I don't need. Turn that one off. I don't know if you can still. Okay, so on to our numbers. Congratulations to another solid month. For April, we were down about 14 million in volume, but still a good month for us. We did 42.9 million. As a company, we did 206 million. Our region helped 108 families into their homes. 86 of those families were purchases. So good job. 65 units were conventional, 43 FHA, and 8 brokered loans. It always feels like we're doing more brokered loans, but I'm glad to see that we're not. All right, so Cody, you're up. Mic right. Here's your mic. You have to use the mic. Is it on?
Yeah, it's on. Can okay, top 5. At number 5, Shelly Cox did 2.4 million. Number 4 was Taylor Wright at 2.8 million. No one here. Number 3, Jeremy Franco at 3 million. Number 2 was Kathy Castle at 3.7 million. And number 1, Austin Ingersoll, 8.3 million. Just a quick note, Justin Basso and Brandon Mon were really close. They both did over 2 million, so good for them.
Okay, so our top processors, we had Lorraine with 18. Yeah. And then Andy and Delina both with 17. So our top closer, we had Kendra with 42 and Janita as our top funder with 58. So, and then this month we do have Memorial Day on the 29th. So it's going to push your dates back a little bit. So for purchase day, last day is 5/26, and refi day is 5/22. So almost a week before Memorial Day. So just keep those dates in mind. Sorry.
Okay, top 3 underwriters. We have Susie Coleman with 67. James Hurst, 28. And Ty with Leslie Hardman, 28. And then I just want to give a shout out to Susie and James. Susie obviously did quite a few loans this month, and James did a lot of difficult loans. So a special thank you to both of those guys.
For the team. Set up the products, and so in addition to the units that they did, they've been doing an awesome job. West Region Health. Great, you guys.
Okay, I think so. Is it on? Just some quick updates on the SN Home DPA. This is just kind of a reminder that we did some sharpening the pencils basically and got with our investor and changed some of the guidelines shortly after we put it out originally. So I just wanted to review those really quick with everybody. The original, we had a max. Yeah, no. Okay. So originally we had payment shock max of 175, and we were able to get that deleted, basically taken away for any loans that are approved through AUS. So no payment shock at all for loans approved through AUS, okay? So I think that's huge for your borrower. Originally on the manual underwrites. We had a 175 payment shock requirement, and we were able to get that increased up to 225, which again, that's just for manual underwrites, and that's quite a bit more than 175. So I think that's a big benefit. And then originally we had a VOR was required, obviously, to look at your payment shock. It was required for credit scores less than 640, but we were able to get that taken away. So anything that has an AUS approval, we don't need a VOR for. But for manual underwrites, because it's a FHA loan, we need a VOR, okay? So I thought that was some really good updates that we were able to get with our investor. We're really happy about that. As far as our volume on these, this is company-wide. We've had 32 locked so far and 7 funded already. So, and that was as of a few days ago, and it's company-wide. Okay, so it's really, it's popular. I hope it's a good DBA program for everybody. Okay, and then on the LLPAs, there was a lot of talk last week about LLPAs going into effect on May 1st. But if you remember correctly, this has been going on since February. There were a couple of bulletins that went out beginning in February about the LLPAs, and they were being phased into your locks as you went, so that by the time we got to May 1st, your loans would have those LLPAs in them already. So that's what's happened. So it didn't go into your pricing on the 1st. It was effective for loans that were purchased by Fannie, Freddie, or the aggregators on the 1st. Okay. Also, don't forget that the DTI LLPA, that's been extended. They're still discussing that. It's been extended till August the 1st. And I know that the MBA is trying to get them to delete that completely. So I hope that they do, because that's going to be a bad thing if they put that into place. So again, LLPAs are waived for first-time home buyers with less than 100% AMI, and for Home Possible and Home Ready. So don't forget that. Yeah. What? Well, I think the main thing was that they were trying to make it easier for borrowers with with lower credit and less ability to buy a home. They're trying to make it a little bit easier for some of those people. Yeah. Right. Well,
I sent out a document. I think I sent it to you that had the write-up on what the
Yeah.
objective was with it. So if you guys need that, I'll forward it out. But I did email it to you.
yeah, and I found a graph on the internet. I was looking. I think I sent it to Pam, and it's color coded. So you can kind of look at it and see which areas. So if you were a borrower maybe with a 740 or a 780 credit score, and you're only putting down 5% down payment, you're not going to have as much of an LLPA. But for most borrowers that are in that credit score, you're going to be putting down 20% or more, and that's where it really hits you. So, yeah, I don't understand why they did it. But anyway. Well, no, I think basically it gives a more beneficial rate. So for somebody who might be a lower credit score and maybe higher DTI or whatever, so it would give them a little bit lower rate, not as much of a adjustment, so that their interest rate would be a little bit better. You see what I'm saying? So they could qualify, yeah. What'd you say? What'd you say? The MI is higher. Oh, true. That's true. Yeah, that's true. So, yeah. Anyway, any other questions on that? Okay, well. Yeah, they'll tell us all about it, right? Okay, thanks.
I'm up next. Readjust my camera a little bit and slide back out behind it. I can actually stand in front today because I've got a clicker now, so I don't have to be standing at the computer to move these slides around. We'll just go through these really quick. As far as our standard items, we have the pop-ups for this month, or the pop buys for this month. So we got April showers brings May buyers. Lovely little flower bouquet with that. We've got the Do You Need the Scoop on today's market. Obviously, you can pair that with a bunch of different ice cream related items. And then our last one here, thank you for being amazing.
As I always say about Popeyes, they're useless. They don't do anything unless you use them. So, oh, yeah, I should be using the mic. So, test, test, test. There we are. Yeah, make sure you use these. Otherwise, they're for nothing.
Let's see. One of the other big things that we just finished is a new buyer service or a builder services booklet. So anybody who is starting to push into doing things with builders, this is a new tool that you can use for trying to entice them to use us here at Security National. If anybody has any questions or want us to see a digital copy of this, I can send it out to anybody that wants it. We also do have some printed versions that should be finished here pretty quick. So,
And then for approaching builders, I've also been working on a very intensive PowerPoint presentation. I say intensive because I actually took a request from a builder, and they said, here's the things we want to see from our prospective lenders. And I used every one of their keywords in the presentation, so really dialed it in to make it what builders are hoping to see.
I'll leave this
How
to
fun.
you.
So this right here is a sample of what every LO is going to make with me. We've got a system, I've got a system that I'm going to introduce here where it's collaborative social video. Collaborative meaning I'm going to reach out to you, I'm going to provide the scripts, the content. We're going to shoot together if you need that help. I love to help people get a good looking shot like I did here with Mitch. And then you send the footage to me, I get it edited, send it back to you, and you've got some nice posts for the month. So this is a sample of what's coming, collaborative video. Can we play it? And who's going to hear it?
We can play it. I don't know who's going to hear it. I don't think we're going to hear it on the Zoom call, so we'll be sending a link out. Yeah, so everybody on Zoom. We'll be sending a link out with this video so that if the audio doesn't show up, the system doesn't like to play audio in one of the two different places. So let's see where we can
Hi
hear
guys,
this.
are you looking to buy a home but don't have money for a down payment? Well, you may qualify for our 5% down payment assistance program, and in most cases, you can qualify with as little as a 580 credit score. We'd love to help you achieve your dream of home ownership. We have a new exclusive program called SN Home. It's a down payment assistance program, and no other lender has this program. It could really make a difference in helping you get into your new home. DM me or call me, and we'll see if we can get you qualified for this program.
So short and sweet. So
Have anything else you want to
That's
add
it.
there? Yeah, so we'll be able to do. I mean, they'll be doing these for incoming loan officers, and anybody else that wants help with these kinds of things, just let us know, and we can help you put any type of these videos together. Last item, obviously, the monthly marketing plan is on the inside track. Go in there, you can see all the emails and social media pieces that are going out from corporate marketing. So you can see all the different things that are going out there. I know this month they're doing an SN Home email blast that's going out, so that's probably going out this week, I think, if it hasn't gone out already. So that's going to be going out to all of your leads your leads and your business partners this month. So I think that's it for marketing.
On my part, for those of you that did not know, Kevin Campbell is new to our marketing team and the Midvale region. And I mentioned in my social media post that Kevin will be doing one-on-ones with all of the loan officers so that he can help strategize your marketing plan for the rest of the year. Okay, region updates. Today is our team day, so for those of you that can stay and work from the office, we will have lunch here at noon. And then I also wanted to just quickly mention some of the changes that you'll start seeing in our office space for those of you that are in Midvale. We have a branch that's in the Salt Lake region that their lease is coming up, and so they are going to come into our space and take the back corner office, the northeast corner office. So as they start moving in mid-March or mid-May, make sure you stop by and welcome them. They're maintaining their own region, but they are going to share some space with us, which will help with some of our costs. And then I wanted to highlight a loan officer this month. For those of you that don't know Shelley Cox, she joined us in October of last year. She came from 90% lead gen. So she was referred all of her business through lead generation. And she made the jump and transition to go full self-gen loans in a really tough market. And since she's been here, she's closed 6.9 million, 18 units, and has become one of our top 5 loan officers this month. So I just wanted to give her congratulations for making that transition.
Thank you.
And then I thought it would also be fun to share some testimonials that we are seeing on our loan officers. Bren received a testimonial. I loved how Bren explained everything to me and made sure I understood the process. Tina was an exceptional mortgage loan originator who made the process smooth and quick. She went above and beyond to secure the best loan for my needs, explaining every detail with clarity. Her dedication and expertise ensured a seamless experience that was both efficient and stress-free. I wholeheartedly recommend Tina to anyone in need of a mortgage loan. Mike Yancey was awesome to work with. I could immediately tell he was competent in his field and dedicated to getting my wife and I the best deal. Carlos Plazas helped us a lot. Great service. It was a pleasure working with Kathy at Security National. She helped us through each step of the process and ensured that we got the best possible rate. Kathy also guided us through future short-term rentals and other Utah-specific real estate questions. Highly recommend Security National. So for those of you that don't know, we currently average a 4.8 rating on Google. So all of these testimonials keep us up in that high end. We want to hit 5, but you guys are doing an awesome job. And then our knowledge coop. So we talked about CE for end of the year renewal. That process has taken a little bit longer than I had anticipated. They are projecting a May 15th rollout. Both Sammy and I apparently did not know that we had to do the training so that we could roll it out to all of you guys. So we are cramming that training in this week so that we can get it out to you guys. So be patient. I promise it will be worth it. You'll love it. It's a great way to do your CE. And then other events, we have the Utah Vision Day Rally is June 24th. We are looking for volunteers for the rally. We have, I think, 18 volunteers, and the majority of them are coming from corporate. So, guilt trip. Would love to see the Midvale region volunteering at the Utah Vision Day Rally. And then qualifications. So in order to make the trip to Austria, 21 million in volume, or 89 units, 74 million for branch managers, or 420 units. To get President's Club, 25 million, or 106 units, or 92.5 and 525 units. We put some numbers together so we could highlight where most of you are at. Austin Ingersoll has qualified. Jeremy is right there, coming in hot. So is Kathy Castle. Rudy, 65%. Taylor Wright, 58%. Bren, 44%. You got this, Bren. I think everybody coming in on the bottom 10, we should be able to make it as well. We've got a lot of things that are, I think, going to happen over the next few months. It's going to help that volume, and you guys will be going to Austria. So congratulations. All right, loan officers, networking opportunities. We have the WCR bowling fundraiser, which is tomorrow. We do have a team committed to bowling, but I know that they have additional lanes. So if you want to take a group of real estate agents, again, another networking opportunity for you. We also have our in-house Realtor CE course that is May 10th. So hopefully you're promoting those, inviting your agents to come to that. It'll be here in this room. We also have Essent doing a training for loan officers, expanding your scope of business. It's a webinar with Doug Smith, and that will be May 17th. And then corporate is putting on a movie madness, May 17th. And I saw an email go out that you guys, when you go to these corporate events, you don't have to clock out. Your hours are good. You get your full day. So we're just kidding. Okay, other networking opportunities, Salt Lake County. Has anybody attempted to go do any of the Salt Lake County Realtor tours? I think I mentioned last time that they are overwhelmingly attended. And if a loan officer calls in and registers, you can host that Realtor tour. And basically, you'll have access to hundreds of real estate agents that are doing those tours. So that's why I put these up here, so that you are aware of what's going on in the community, so that you can go out and network. The one in Salt Lake is every Thursday, and they have ladies and lattes on Tuesday, and their world largest real estate bus tour is May 19th. Utah County has a May luncheon at Thanksgiving Point. And then Davis and Weber County Realtor tours alternate between South and North every Wednesday, May 10th. Okay, so that wraps up updates. I am going to introduce Jeff DeGraffenreid. Am I saying that right, Jeff? Yep. Good. Wonderful. Okay.
Perfect. All right, well, hello everyone. So my name is Jeff DeGraffenreid. So I'm the department manager for the construction lending department. So prior to coming here, I was working at a community bank in Utah County, and I handled all of their builder finance and all the development financing and stuff like that. And so I've been here for about 6 months now. And since that time, I've kind of noticed that a lot of the mortgage LOs that are calling in, there's a lot of questions. And so we kind of figured, and Christy invited us to come in and maybe try to answer a bunch of those questions all at once. And so, how do I go into the slides?
If you want to take the clicker, I've got that guy here.
Okay. I press that one?
Yeah, the big one.
Okay. So first off, I just wanted to go over the products that we offer. So one of the biggest ones that's beneficial for a lot of people is just single-family residence construction. And with this, so currently we only offer this financing direct to builders. We have looked and are kind of in the process on putting some stuff in place to hopefully offer direct to consumer financing at some point in the future. But right now, currently, we just offer it direct to builders. And with that, we do both pre-sold lending and spec lending. We also can do townhome construction, also just direct to the builders, and same thing, pre-sold and spec. And then one other thing that I found to be a pretty good selling point to a lot of builders is we offer acquisition and development financing. And that's something that a lot of builders, it's kind of a good way to get in with a lot of builders. they're always looking for A&D financing to do the land development. And it's also a great opportunity as a mortgage lender as well, that you can get in not just on a couple houses, but you can get in on basically an entire subdivision, right? They could be 30, 50, whatever amount of lots all at a time. That's a great opportunity for a mortgage LO. And so I also wanted to go over just a little bit of what to look for in these deals. Well, and also let me say, feel free if anybody has questions to ask them anytime. So, so one thing, so a lot of people call in, and we, I get a lot of questions about basically what we're looking for in these deals, because we're not just gonna do any builder that comes in. It's not just it's not always a super easy process to get it through. And so so I wanted to go over a couple of the things to look for in these builder relationships. And so the first thing to look for is kind of figuring out, I guess the way that that construction lending kind of differs from mortgage lending is that with these loans, as soon as we close a loan, it goes on our books and it stays on our books until we are able to get that paid off. And so so one of the biggest considerations when we're looking at doing loans is how are we going to get that paid off in the end. And a lot of times that's through either having a contract on the homes at the time they're starting, or obviously in the case of spec loans, we wouldn't have that. But that's going to be one of the big considerations when we're considering construction loans is how are we paying it off. And then the next one is just sort of what's the equity, what's the builder or borrower's equity piece in the deal? Are they bringing in cash? Have they owned this land for a long time? Are they going to defer their profit and overhead? That's just another piece to consider. And then with that, cash equity is always the best. Another consideration that we look at is who is this person that we're going to be lending to? Does this builder know what they're doing? And can they really build the product in the time that we're giving them and at the cost that they're saying they can. And then with that as well, is just the market area. We generally don't want to do construction lending in an area that's not growing or that there's not high demand for those products, because one consideration is always when we're lending on it, we go into it thinking that there's always a possibility that we could end up owning this home at the end of it if we're not able to get it paid off. And in that case, we want to make sure that it's in an area that we could sell it. And so the next thing that I wanted to go over is just the process so you think you found a deal, it's a product that we offer, and you think it meets maybe the qualifications. And so at that point, I wanted to kind of go over what the loan approval process looks like. So basically, the process would be you could just call in directly to me or to Alex. So I also brought Alex White along today, and he's our head underwriter. And so he'll be working directly with the builders as well as I will. And so basically from this point, from the time that you submit the loan, we can be as involved or as uninvolved as you would like us to be. But basically from our side, what we do is we take the loan after it's sent in. We'll let you know what information we need, and from that point, we'll start underwriting the loan. We'll start putting together all of the information that they send over, and then we'll take it to a meeting called Underwrite Committee, where it's basically all of the members of the loan committee. So it's a bunch of the executives like the Quiss and Jason Overbaugh and Garrett are the members of the loan committee or of the Underwrite Committee. And so we'll take the loan into Underwrite Committee, and then we'll get their feedback from that meeting, but we don't actually get approvals at that meeting. So we'll get the feedback from that meeting, and then we'll kind of go back to you and back to the borrower at that point and say what revisions do we need to make to this loan, and what are the thoughts on it. Then at that point, we'll make those revisions, and then we'll take it back to what's called the loan committee. That's basically the same members as the underwrite committee, and that's where we'll try to get the actual approval on the loan. From that point, there's usually some conditions to meet, like appraisals and getting all the title work, and possibly other conditions as well. We'll meet those conditions, and then we close and fund the loan. So the whole process, it really can go as fast or as slow as the borrower is able to get us the information that we need. If they're pretty responsive and they get us the stuff in a timely manner, then it usually takes maybe about a month from the time that the loan is submitted to the time that it's closed. It can go faster. For example, we closed one a couple of weeks ago. It was a $5 million basically A&D loan, and we closed it in about 2 weeks because they sent us everything we needed. And if it takes them a little bit longer to get us the stuff, then it could take a little bit longer to close the loan as well. And so basically, so from your side, like I said a couple of minutes ago, we can be as involved or uninvolved as you want us to be during the whole process. But what we are sort of expecting from the referring LO in this whole process is that basically at least establishing the initial conversation with the builder, and then after that point, helping with the communication as needed. And like I said, we can leave that up to you, or you can hand it over to us and say you just communicate directly with the builder, and we're fine to do that as well. And then the other big thing that's always a consideration in getting the loans approved is establishing a plan for the mortgage capture. And obviously that's the part that all of you are going to be interested in anyways. And so. And it's always a big consideration when we take it up to loan committee. They always say, so how are we going to actually capture the mortgages on this deal, and with this builder? And what we found is just saying that we'll be a preferred lender is usually not sufficient. We've done a lot of deals where we'll be a preferred lender, and they don't really have any incentive to send the deals to us, and so we end up maybe getting a couple of mortgages out of it, right? And that's what we don't want to have happen with this. So we need to get specific with how we're going to capture the mortgages, and that can either be through, I mean, there's a number of different ways that we can do it. It could be an incentive that if the builder's willing to offer a preferred lender incentive, say they're going to offer $5,000 to all their buyers to use SNMC for the mortgages. That's one thing. There also, what we've done at different times in the past is sort of set benchmarks that if the builders are reaching a certain threshold of all the mortgages or going to Security National, then there's no additional penalties or anything like that. But if they drop below a certain point, then there could be additional penalties quoted on the payoffs or something like that. And then really, like I put on the bottom thing, it's basically, all of this is just to the end that they send us the mortgages, right? And so I would encourage anybody to get creative and think of how we're going to capture the mortgages. And as long as we have a good plan in place, the committee is usually pretty receptive to that as far as getting the approvals through. So this is, I think this is all, yep, that's all I had. And so if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer anything you have. Christy. So currently we're very competitive as far as pricing goes, and as far as ease of working with us, we're very competitive. So our rates right now, that I hesitate to throw out exact rates because it's always going to be risk-based. But our rates right now are very competitive. We're on A&D lending, we're usually in the mid-8s right now, which is, if you go out and look at the banks, that's better than a lot of banks and credit unions are offering for that type of financing. For spec lending, we're probably also in the mid 8s, and for pre-sold lending, we're probably closer to the low 8s. And so yeah, I'd say we're very competitive as far as the products and our rates and terms go. Yeah, certainly. So especially with a lot of the turmoil going on in the banking world right now, a lot of lenders have kind of pulled back a little bit, especially on that A&D lending. And so there are a lot of builders right now that are out looking for financing. And so I guess my advice to everybody would be now is a good opportunity to go after the best builders. Because I mean, for two reasons. First off, that a lot of the banks are getting a little bit more conservative on their financing, and also in the fact that because of the current rate environment right now, we're very competitive on the pricing, and so we really can go after the very best business. Correct. Yes. We do have a little bit more flexibility.
We can put something together, yeah.
So we don't currently have anything, but we could definitely look at doing something like that. It's hard to really put it to paper exactly what we offer, because every project is really just such a case by case type of basis. Every project in this world is just so different. And so we can maybe look at putting something together, just something simple that we could use to go out and market to them. But I would also say just any builders that you think could potentially be good or that have an interest in that, I would say you can get me on a call with them, or Alex, and we can walk them through really whatever questions they have, and then see if they do that. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's a great idea. Okay. So Taylor Wright asked what the typical LTV is on A&D lending, and so that will vary based on a lot of factors. And he picked the very most hardest type of lending to to give an answer to that question. Typically, I would say kind of a baseline LTV to work off of is about 65%. But with A&D lending, there's a number of other factors. A lot of times we take additional collateral with like future phases of the subdivision, and other stuff like that. And so it can kind of it can vary quite a bit on A&D lending. But I would say just kind of the baseline number to throw out there is probably 65% loan to value, and just knowing that if we have a really good builder come in and they're wanting to do, and to get their business, we need to go a little bit higher than that. We can definitely look at that. So custom homes to, okay, so the question was, can we finance custom homes to a builder in the price range of $2 to $3 million? I would say we can always look at it. I haven't had as much luck getting stuff done at that higher price points, because it is such a specialized product. Like I said, we go into it thinking at the end of the day, there's a possibility that we could end up owning this home. And with homes in that price point, there's a much more limited buyer pool. And so it's always something that we could look at, and in the right situation, it may be something that we would do. But I would say that's probably not our main that's not our main business. But most of our business is done in more of the entry and mid-level product with those production builders, the type of builders that we can just keep rolling the business with. It's doing a number of homes per year, and that we're getting a bunch of mortgage business from them. All right, awesome. Well, are there any other questions? Yeah. Yeah. Yes, correct. So the question was, so with this right here, that we put the what incentives will the builder offer to buyers to use SNMC? And the question was, what service are we providing to the builders? And basically, what we're providing to the builders is we're offering them financing and very competitive financing on their projects, basically. And as a condition of that, we need to make sure that we're able to capture the mortgage business on the back end of that. All right, thank you.
That's it. We're going to wrap up with a raffle. So our raffle today is a premier, my goodness, mobile detail, premier car mobile detail. Sorry, Zoom. If you were here, you could participate in the raffle. Just as a heads up, I am entertaining removing the Zoom option for a few of our sales meetings so that we can get more people in the office. So be prepared for that. We do have 30 people on the Zoom call, so our room would be packed. Do you want me to read this? All right, 0701446. Woo! Carlos Plazas hopping his way over. And we're going to do one more minute to win it, and then we'll wrap up. Thank you, guys.
And Sharon.
Sharon and she's grounded.
Kim Hall. Yeah. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to have a straw, and the first one to blow all of their things across the table wins. Okay. So you're going to use a straw, and you're going to blow these off the table. 5, 6. You could do it that way if you want to do it that way. No, never mind. Funny, Kim. Okay, you guys want to take a straw?
Really? Have you tried this?
I have tried it. It works. I promise. Okay, let me move these. Justin? Instant cue time. Okay. On your mark, get set, go. Yeah, those are yours. Oh. Oh. Oh, Sharon, sorry, Sharon. You won right at the end. That was close. I have your gift card. Let me grab it. Did you want this?
Thank you, guys. See you at lunch.